Hi, it's Dave here from Melbourne SEO and Video, and I've got an authority content case study with a very good friend of mine, Troy Dean. Thank you for making the time.
Hey, no worries, buddy.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to get Troy to talk through the process he went through when he went through the authority content process and some of the results that he's got, because he's only 2 of the 3 stages in. So perhaps you can first tell us a little bit about what you do, what's your business, and how you sort of came across, or why we talked about running you through the authority content process.
Sure. So my business is WP Elevation, which is a business accelerator program for WordPress consultants. And what really appealed to me about running an authority content style workshop was that in the act of giving your best stuff away to all of your community, and some of who might be seen as your competitors, it actually forces you to up your game and to innovate. So we just took our best systems and everything we know about running a WordPress consultancy and gave it to the community, which then forced me to go back and say, right, well, we now have to get better at that because they all know what we're doing. So that was what really appealed to me. You know, someone once said to me, if you think you know something, teach it, and then you'll really know how much you know. So that was the big appeal. And I guess then also ending up with a product that we could either sell or use in the future as bonus material, as a way of attracting more people into our tribe. Yeah.
Now we helped organise running the event in Melbourne CBD. How many people did we get? I can't even remember. It was probably about 30 or something. Or?
I think we had 34 attend the event in the CBD, and I think we had a handful of people who bought it from overseas who couldn't make it, but they got the recordings afterwards.
And we pretty much ran it close to break even. That was one of our discussions, and it's always funny when you talk to some people about running an event and you talk about this idea of running it at break even, and then they go, well, what's the point? Is that something that popped up for you, or not even a consideration?
Not really, because I knew that we could sell it afterwards. I mean, the fact that we had half a dozen people buy it from overseas just to get the recordings proved to me that once we have this product, that we could sell it to our offshore clients, and that there was enough interest in this kind of information. So to actually run the event and break even meant that there was no out-of-pocket expenses for us, and we ended up with a great product that we could then monetize in the future. Yeah,
and then I think that was the next step. It's interesting, as I've gone through some of these different case studies with people are profiting at different steps depending on the size of their community, what opportunities they've got, and for you, when you got to the product phase, that's really where you had a big win. So once the product was recorded and edited, and we delivered those recordings through to you, and you set it up as a membership, and then you sold it through. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that process.
Yeah, so I think it was probably 2 months after we ran the event that we had all the material up in a membership site, and we knew that there was enough interest in it. We'd been using social media a little bit to tell people about the masterclass, as we called it, and we knew there was enough interest in it, so we ran a sale. We basically opened the cart for 4 days and ran this sale to sell the recordings to our audience who were not in Australia, and we did about just over 11.5 grand in the 4 days in sales of the digital product. And we can do that again. I mean, the kind of materials that we were teaching are universal, fundamental things. So it's not like we have to update it, now to sell it again. So we could run that 4-day promotion again and sell it again. And the other thing is that now we've got a product that we can either sell or we can use as bonus materials when we sell other products. So it's there, it's part of our product suite now that we can just continue to use.
And then we haven't moved yet into the final P, which is then the promotion phase, where we chop it up into bits, syndicate it around, and SEO for me, it's a bit of a passion. So once we do that, it ends up becoming a great traffic driver through. So we're kind of 2/3 of the way through, and we're already seeing some great results.
Yeah, and I think we ended up with over 6 hours of video from the day as well. So we've got tons of material that we can slice and dice up, and I mean, we could just use that material for the next 12 months as part of our social strategy, just to drip feed that content out. Yeah,
I think I mean, working with the team at Melbourne SEO and Video, like I was personally involved in this project, and you work with a lot of the team. What was that like? Were we easy to work with, and how was that process?
Actually, you were a nightmare, mate. No, it was a no-brainer. Like the good thing about I've run workshops in the past where I've done everything. You know, I've filmed, set up the cameras, I've hit record, then I've gone and presented the workshop, and there's been no one else in the room. Having people there to set the room up and set the cameras up and get all the audio gear working, I just turned up, could focus on presenting my material to the audience, and I didn't have to worry about any of that. I didn't have to worry about editing. It was a pretty easy hands-off experience for me. I just delivered great content on the day, and we ended up with a great product at the end of it.
Yeah. Lucky last thing then, someone who's thinking about going through the authority content process, whether it's a do-it-yourself or one of our coaching programs where we do it as